The Snowy Surprise. Thomas enjoyed puffing up and down his branch line every day. He liked the sights and the people he met along the way. One of his favourite places to visit was a small village high in the mountains on the island of Sodor. The people there were very friendly and always waved to Thomas as he passed. On Christmas Eve, the engines woke to find that a winter storm was covering Sodor with a thick blanket of snow. The Fat Controller came to see Thomas and Percy. "Percy, you will take Thomas's coaches and deliver the Christmas post along his branch line today," he said. "I need Thomas at the docks." Thomas was disappointed. He wanted to see if his friends in the village needed help in the storm. "I'll look after your friends for you," Percy promised. Percy took Annie and Clarabelle and steamed up the mountain. Even in the snow, he was making good time. Suddenly, his driver called out, "What's that?" Through the blizzard, Percy saw a red glow. As he got closer, he saw that it was a fogman standing by the track with a warning light. "Every road and track to the village is cut off by the snow," the fogman shouted. "You must fetch help, Percy." Percy was worried. He had promised Thomas that he would look after the villagers, and now they were in trouble. Percy knew just what to do. He left Annie and Clarabelle in a siding and puffed quickly to the airfield where Harold the helicopter was resting. "Beep, beep!" whistled Percy loudly. "Wake up, lazy wings! The roads to the mountain village are blocked with snow, and the villagers need our help." "Right away," Harold replied, and he buzzed up into the air and flew off to tell the Fat Controller. Percy headed back towards the yard, but he hadn't gone far when he saw another engine coming. It was Thomas, wearing a snowplough. After hearing Percy's message, the Fat Controller had sent Thomas to take Terence the tractor and a works train to help the people in the villages. "Thank you for looking after my friends, Percy," puffed Thomas. "Now follow me." Percy bottled up behind Thomas's heavy train, helping to push it up the mountain. Thomas's snowplough cleared the snow from the tracks that led to the village. Thomas and Percy had to go very slowly. When they tried to go faster, the wheels slipped and spun on the icy rails. Working together, Thomas and Percy struggled up the steep mountain. At last, Thomas puffed, "There's the village!" Percy was very tired, but he pushed and pushed until the train was safely in the station. Percy heard a loud buzzing from the air and looked up. He was happy to see Harold dropping parcels of food for the people and their pets in the village. Terence the tractor quickly got to work. With his strong caterpillar tracks and snowplough, he cleared the snow so that people could walk safely and drive their cars. "Snow is lovely stuff," said Terence cheerfully as he worked. The children agreed. They were having fun sledding down the hills and making snowmen in the village. At last, the snowstorm passed. Terence ploughed the last road in the village and then rolled back onto Thomas's flatbed. Percy went to fetch Annie and Clarabelle from the siding so that the villagers would have their letters and parcels in time for Christmas. By the time he returned, Toby had arrived with Henrietta. They had brought hot chocolate and mince pies for the tired workmen and villagers. As Thomas and Percy chuffed away, the villagers waved goodbye. "Well done, Percy! Well done, Thomas!" they cried. "Thank you for giving us a happy Christmas!" Thomas and Percy smiled. They had never felt more than really useful engines. When Thomas and Percy were out of sight, the villagers talked about a way to thank the engines for their hard work. They had made a wonderful plan. That night, the villagers loaded many boxes and parcels into Henrietta, then climbed aboard. Toby puffed through the snowy countryside and steamed into the yard as quietly as he could. Thomas and Percy were fast asleep after their busy day. The villagers took their boxes and parcels, then tiptoed into the shed. Toby didn't know what the villagers were going to do, but it was sure it was going to be a very splendid surprise. Thomas was the first to wake up on Christmas morning. He could not believe his eyes. Beep, beep! He whistled in surprise. The others woke too, and they all looked around in wonder. The shed had been magically decorated with tinsel and fairy lights. There was even a Christmas tree with loads of parcels underneath. Thomas and his friends whistled in delight. "It is a really Merry Christmas for everyone," said Percy, and they all agreed.